Okay, gonna record a quick video here going over how maximum HP scaling works in Wolcen. So on the Wolcen skill tree, basically there's two sources for what will be the end result, which is the bottom bar here, your total maximum HP. And the two sources get added and multiplied kind of weird. If you've taken percentage max HP nodes in the skill tree, you have your HP from gear, from gems. There's also some nodes in the skill tree that add like plus 100 flat HP. And then there's also toughness. And so toughness is basically kind of considered your base HP, and it basically doesn't ever get scaled by any like percentage bonuses that you have anywhere else. So for example, here you can see source 1.1. Any percent max HP node you take in the skill tree does not ever care about how much toughness you have. And toughness, like you can invest a whole ton into toughness and you can get 100% max HP and it won't change the amount of HP you get from toughness at all. So toughness and the max HP nodes on the tree are kind of completely independent from each other. What toughness does scale off of is this first source. So first you have source 1, which is just the flat HP that you get from gear, from gems, and from the skill tree flat nodes, but not the percentage increases, just the flat. Okay? And then only the amount of HP from your gear, gems, and the flat nodes on the skill tree, only that HP is what gets scaled by percentage max HP. So if I have, like, let's say I just have a number, like 50,000 flat HP from gear or something, and I have 100% on the tree, then I go times 200, because you have baseline 100%. I would have, whoops, I want times 2. Whatever, 50,000 times 2, there you go, I would have 100,000 HP. And then, so what toughness does, is you can see here I have an arrow with this is eyes. So the toughness looks at how much flat HP you have, just flat, before it gets scaled by the max HP percentage from the tree. And then, based on how much HP this is, that determines how much each point of toughness is worth. So for example, if you have like 0 HP from gear, toughness for me right now is worth about, I think, 27 HP per point. And toughness has 0 diminishing returns. This is why you'll see a lot of late game builds invest into toughness in late game. Partly it's for the effective health pool, but also it's because it has no diminishing returns. So like crit chance, for example, if I go from 33 to 50% crit chance, that'll take like, it'll go from maybe 400, ferocity, to probably like 800 or something in order to do that. And that's about a 50% increase in the amount of crits I'm doing, right? I'm going from 33 to 50, so I'm critting every 2 attacks instead of every 3. That's an increase of 50%. So it takes 100% ferocity, because I'm going from 400 to 800. It takes 100% ferocity to get 50% effectiveness, or increase. Toughness does not suffer from that at all. So instead of getting a 50% increase in the amount of crits I'm doing, toughness, because of the way it scales, basically if I invest points in it, like I can triple my health pool. So it doesn't suffer from diminishing returns at all. So that makes it really, 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 really strong in late game, because you can get just the baseline, kind of like before you really hit like the harsh diminishing returns on like your wisdom and ferocity, and you don't need that much crit, and you definitely don't need that much wisdom because there's a hard cap on the amount of ailment stacks that a enemy can have. So as long as you're applying it roughly fast enough to reach the maximum stacks like pretty quickly, then you're fine. So wisdom definitely has kind of like a soft cap, or even a hard cap almost, at around, I would say, like 25% ailment chance. It's maybe between 20 and 33, around there. And then crit can go a little bit higher, depending on the amount of crit damage you have and scaling on that and things like that. I would say 25 also to maybe like 50% crit chance is where you want to be. Going above 50 really seems kind of excessive. Any crit you would have above 50, you probably want to start scaling into toughness. So anyway, but if I have, let's say like, let's say around 10k HP from my items, Toughness now scales it, instead of being like 27 per point, it's up to like 90 per point. And so because it has no diminishing returns, toughness definitely scales much, much better. So all the toughness does is it looks at this flat value, but it's before it's ever increased by the percentage nodes on the tree. So these percentage nodes on the tree, the amount of flat HP you can get from gear is roughly about 31k, and then you have 6k from gems. So it's like gonna be not that much. It's like 40k on from gear. So then you can imagine if you get like 100% max HP, you're only increasing your total HP pool at the end by 40k. So that's a very small increase. You're gonna probably in endgame have over 100,000 HP pretty easily, just because of the way toughness scales and the flat HP from gear. So the more flat HP you have, the better toughness is per point. And so, like, if you can think of one node as like 10% max HP or whatever, that's about you're getting about 4,000 health. So if you have 100,000 already, 4,000 is a 4% health increase. So it's like less than half as valuable as the tooltip would suggest. Meanwhile, you can get like stuff like 20% all resistance. You can get like there's a 25 or 15 or 20% dodge chance score. There's 10% and 5% like block chance score, things like that. You can scale a lot of other ways, like other things will increase your effective health pool much, much more effectively, especially per node on the tree compared to max HP. So max HP nodes on the tree are actually very unimportant. What is important is having flat health gems. So like I see a lot of people right now using percent all resist gems. Because you're so limited by the amount of flat HP that you have, and there's basically a hard cap around like 40k or so. You could go a little bit higher, I guess, if you had a bruiser chest and helmet, but I think Salvatore Anchor is one of the strongest nodes, defensive nodes on the tree right now for having heavy armor, which is full all resist. On the at least the base item is full all resist. So I think you would still want to do that. And then what you would do is you would get nodes that are percentage all resist on the tree, and instead put flat HP gems in your gear. And if you're investing heavily into toughness, that will actually scale your effective health pool much better than having percentage all resist gems and getting percentage max HP nodes, for example. So just a couple things to know there. This took a lot of testing, and it was a nightmare to try and figure it out, because you're like, okay, this scales, but what is it even scaling? It's not the max or not the base HP. It's only the HP from gear, and then the nodes on the tree are actually like less than half as valuable as you think they are most of the time. And so yeah, what happens basically is just source 1.1 is whatever the flat HP is multiplied by the percentage, and that's some value, and then it just gets straight added in just like little straight addition to source 2, which is the amount you get from toughness, and the amount you get per point of toughness is dependent on the number that's flat. So kind of the flat HP really matters a lot. This doesn't matter a whole lot because it only affects like a third or even a quarter or less, like 20% of your total ending number. A huge part of it comes from toughness in terms of your effective health pool, like total big number, which is why you want to scale the flat numbers so big, because that scales this really big. And then all that toughness, which is like going to be 80% of your health bar or something, gets straight added to the 1.1 source, and that just becomes your total health bar. So I probably repeated myself a lot there, and this video wasn't as short as I wanted it to be, but hopefully that goes in depth and explains everything and makes it super clear how to scale max HP in Wolcen. Thank you for watching.